What's good? You guys, my name's Jude. Welcome back to the third place. Today we gonna get into a quick little reaction video to this right here. I realize now that I didn't have it up, but I'll read the title to you. My fault. Your brain is lying to you about discipline. Here's the truth. And hopefully I can turn that into 9-minute video into like a 4-hour long reaction. Like I did last time. And then we're going to build this Lego set while we talk about the 4 F's to freedom. And hopefully we get a little bit further down the road with it as we talk about that. So just bear with me here as I fix the reaction part. Where is it even pulling that up at? Like when? Oh, good times. There we go, baby. So this video we're gonna react to right here. Let me pull it up, big screen. Ad. I mean, you can always bet on it. La 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 la. Ooh 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 ooh. That's your business. Alright. So let's make sure that the audio's good. The audio's good. Clean. Clean. Maybe we'll turn that down just a little bit. Yo, yo. Alright. Bet. Look, I got a little haircut. What y'all think of it? Alright. Chill. Let's turn this up. It says your brain is lying to you about discipline. Here's the truth. Let's get into it.
Here's something nobody tells you about discipline. If discipline depends entirely on willpower, eventually it'll break down. Scientists have found that willpower works kind of like a muscle. The more you use it throughout the day, the weaker it gets. So by the end of the day, that same discipline that...
Whoa. All right, you guys going to have to bear with me. I did forget to take my ADHD meds this morning, so like my brain is everywhere. I'm going to have to rewind that to understand what he even just said.
Like a muscle. The more you use it throughout the day,
didn't go back far enough.
It gets. On willpower, eventually it'll break down.
Let's just start over.
Here's something nobody tells you about discipline. If discipline depends entirely on willpower, eventually it'll break down. Scientists have found that willpower works kind of like a muscle. The more you use it throughout the day, the weaker it gets. So by the end of the day, that same discipline that you started with is practically gone. And
so it's kind of like what I've heard. He might even say this in the farther we go along, but the best way to be disciplined is to set up systems and processes. So, for example, like I try to be healthy. Like I go to the gym. I go to the gym actually 3 times a week. You know, I actually been trying out a lot lighter volume, going less and doing less in the gym, but really high intensity. And if you guys want to know about that, I've actually seen a lot of good progress with it. Let me know if you guys want to hear about that in the comments or in the chat. But 10% of getting healthy and looking good or whatever is in the gym, and the other 90% is just what you eat. And I know that. So I set up systems. I want as much friction between me and making the wrong decision as possible, if that makes sense. So what I do is, well, I make my meals, right? I have one meal a day that's around 1,000 calories, around 80 to 100 grams of protein. Okay, I try and hit zero point 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. For me, that's around 120 to 140 grams of protein a day. All right, so meal one, boom, healthy, all whole food. And then I have another 500 calorie, around 40, 50 ish grams of protein. So right there, I'm at my protein goal. So that's 1,500 calories. And then the rest of my calories, which I'm eating around 2,700 calories a day, I can eat whatever I want. So that's 1,200 calories. I can eat whatever I want. Now, at the house, I don't buy a bunch of sweets. Like, I have Oreos, actually off-brand Oreos. And then I have like the new healthy chips from Doritos and all that, and some like peach rings, because them motherfuckers are fire. But a lot of that is just because I have a toddler and he like craves stuff like that, and I get it for him, and I have enough discipline to where I won't raid that. But like candy bars and having a bunch of junk food, I know me. It's real easy for me to walk into that kitchen and mess up, but if I want a candy bar, if I want like ice cream, I've got to get dressed, I've got to get the keys, I've got to drive to wherever it's at, I got to buy it, I got to drive all the way back, and then I'm eating it. That's a lot of friction. More often than not, then I'm just like, I'm going to eat the fruit, or I'm going to eat the Greek yogurt, or I'm going to eat whatever other thing I have in the house, which is honestly probably 90% healthy food in the house. So that's how I try and stay disciplined, is to stack it on top, or to set up a system and process to make it easier to be disciplined. And then on top of it, another like cheat code is like habit stacking. So you brush your teeth every morning. If not, you should do that. And let's say you want to start going on a 5-minute walk. Well, it's like, all right after the walk, like have your shoes in the bathroom or whatever. So it's like, all right, I know as soon as I'm done, I'm putting my shoes on. All right, after I brush my teeth, and now I'm out taking a walk, stacking a habit on top of another habit. 2 little cheat codes right there. And let me see if anybody's in the chat. Anybody in the chat? Tight shit.
Yet somehow, when we fail to follow through, we convince ourselves that we just need to try harder next time. We tell ourselves that we need more willpower. We tell ourselves that we need more motivation, more strength, when the truth is, we've been solving the wrong problem all along. But I want to offer you a different way of looking at this, because I truly believe that a lot of the shame that we carry around discipline is built on a lie that most of us have been believing for a long time without even realizing it. So in this video, I'm going to offer you a different way of looking at this. And I believe that once you understand it, everything will start to make sense. My name is Joseph Washington, and if you're new here, I'm an artist that also enjoys topics about personal improvement, motivation, and religion. And while I'm speaking on this topic of...
Hey, man, I might take some pointers off because he got 8,000 subs. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm working towards, you guys. And this is why, and I'm on just side note, ADHD. Yes, it's going to be rampant, this one. But side note, like, I'm really working on, all right, what is this channel about? And the more and more I go, the more and more it's like self-improvement kind of stuff. And that's a very big umbrella, okay, for me. But for me, I think the more granular and the more niche down, I guess you could say, in that self-improvement would be, man, I want to oh, excuse me. I want to help whatever situation you're in, and I want to create a community and help those people improve in that community. I mean, I'll make content and it'll attract people into that community, hopefully. But I want to help those people individually, because that genuinely is what fires me up. And I'm just not realizing that, wow, I haven't figured out. Crazy. All right. You guys, I'm like so tired, and my ADHD meds, man, I didn't take them today. I'm hanging on by a thread. Let's continue on.
Discipline. I'll be working on this new painting that you see here on my easel. It was fun painting it, and I had some challenging moments during my painting sessions.
W Painter.
That hopefully you'll get to see during the video.
Let me just make sure that everything is good. All right, I think we're all good.
So if something in this video speaks to you, or if you just like what I'm painting, go ahead and leave a like, drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's a good time to do it. So let's talk about it.
We just can't afford it right now. My wife needs to be involved in this.
What do I say? Here's the thing nobody really tells you. Our brains were not designed for the kind of discipline modern life demands. That's not an excuse, that's actual science. Think about it. For thousands and thousands of years, we humans were just trying to survive, to find food.
Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. OMT, baby!
Food and to stay warm or not to get eaten. So our brains got really good at one thing, and that was saving energy, taking the easy path, grabbing the quick reward. And that same brain, it's still running inside you right now.
Oh, and dude, social media and video games and pornography and all these things are just preying on that natural proclivity of our brains to chase after the easy way. Isn't that fucked up?
So when you sit down to do something hard like studying or creating or praying or working out, your brain is basically saying, hey, what if we just scroll for a little bit instead? And it's not because you're weak, it's because your brain is doing exactly what it's built to do. The Bible says, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. And I love that verse because it reminds me that we are not machines.
Dude, this painting right here with the skull, I like that one too, but this one's clean.
We're human. We have plans that fall apart. We have intentions that don't always match our actions. And that's okay because God's not surprised by that. The problem comes when we go to war with ourselves over it, when we use shame as fuel, because shame doesn't build anything lasting. It just drains you.
Ooh. I even almost brushed over that. Listen to what he just said.
Match our actions. And that's okay because God's not surprised by that. The problem comes when we go to war with ourselves over it, when we use shame as fuel.
Oh my God. Y'all gotta listen to that again. Listen to what he's saying. God's not surprised by your failure.
The problem comes when we go to war with ourselves over it.
The problem comes when we go to war over ourselves for it, using shame as the fuel to drive us forward. I mean, I don't know about you, but I have done that a lot. Like, oh, well, I fucked up yesterday, so I'm going to go 10 times harder today. And then that cycle of doing that, and then falling back out of the cycle and being like, just continuing to beat myself up. And that is like totally outside of who we are. Because we are created imperfectly, or we're created perfectly imperfect. Oh shit. We're created perfectly imperfect. And let me make sure someone didn't Alright, type shit. And why I feel like that's significant is because, like, was God surprised with Adam and Eve? You know? Was he surprised they ended up in the situation they were in? Or was that always his intended plan? To create a perfectly imperfect creature. The man. The human, really. And study what that means. Because man and human are two different. There's two different meanings there. But I feel like that was his always his intended goal, was to create something perfectly imperfect that would have to rely on him and co-create. He literally created his own community, his own, you know, oh my God, it's like when you have a child. If you don't have a child, I'm gonna try and explain it the best I can because I have a child, and it's like I look at him and I created him, like I had a hand in that. You feel me? But I just think that's so neat because when I'm looking at my son, I'm literally creating and building and help teach and grow up a person that can eventually be like a crewmate or whatever. You get what I'm saying? And it's like there's kind of that same thing with God. And when we think, oh, we have to be perfect, we're acting out of character for who we are. We are categorically perfectly imperfect. And when we try to act perfect, when it's like you must wake up early every day as a human being that wants to be successful. And then it's like, yeah, that's a great hook for social media. And that's a great highlight reel for social media. But you will fail at that. And not beating yourself up is like paramount if you want to progress. Progression over perfection. All right, let's get back into it. This is a good video.
When we use shame as fuel, because shame doesn't build anything lasting. It just drains you.
We got any painters? Comment if you're a painter. Comment if you're a painter, please.
Hey, I just want to take a moment to say something important. I put a lot of thought and time in making these videos, and the best thing that you can do to help this channel to grow is to simply like and subscribe and ring.
I ain't even gonna lie to you, like, for real. I fuck with dude, so I subscribe. Let me shout dude out. Joseph Washington. Here's his channel. He actually posted this a day ago. Type shit. Dude, I'm gonna be honest. This is giving me like a lot of hope and good faith, cause like I'm doing the Lego building, and he's using the painting as kind of like a visual aid as he's talking about whatever he's talking about, and I'm wanting to do that with the Legos, and it's like, oh my God, like this shit can work. I get excited, y'all.
Ring the notification bell. It will cost you absolutely nothing, but it does tell the algorithm that this content deserves to be seen by more people. And even one person in this video walks away feeling hopeful, that's worth everything to me.
Damn it.
So please like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I appreciate it very much. Now, let's get back to
Got
the video.
you, my man.
There's this idea that your environment is basically shaping your behavior more than your willpower ever could. Think about your space right now, where you sleep, where you work, where you spend most of your time. Is that space set up to help you become who you want to be? Because here's what actually happens. You wake up determined.
I'm sorry. I'll rewind, you guys. This is a really good video, but I just want to make sure that I'm streaming for real. YouTube. Am I live? Am I live or am I tripping? View channel. No, I'm streaming. Yeah. Right. Let's go to YouTube Studio right quick. Content live right now, public. All right, we're good. I'm sorry, y'all. Just had to make sure.
You're gonna read your Bible.
All right, let's go.
You're gonna work out.
Let's go back
where
to
you
that.
sleep, where you work.
You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. James Clear. That's from Atomic Habits, which I've never read that book. I want to read that book, and now I just remembered. I know someone that has that book, so I'm gonna try and get it and get a hold of it and read it. But I love that quote.
Where you spend most of your time. Is that space set up to help you become who you want to be? Because here's what actually happens. You wake up determined. You're going to read your Bible. You're going to work out or get focused. But your running shoes are in the back of the closet. Your Bible is way across the room. Your journal is buried under a pile of stuff. And just like that, before the day even begins, everything you planned requires effort to just start. So you don't.
Was I not saying that? Was I not already saying that, bruh? Dude is right. Dude's on to something. Joseph's on to something.
Not because you stopped caring, but because the environment made it easy to quit. There was actually a study done in the school cafeteria where researchers made one simple change. They moved the water bottles to eye level and put them right in front of the line. The soda was still there. Nobody took it away. But just by making the water easier to reach, students started choosing it more often without even thinking about it. No announcement, no health campaign, no rules, just a small shift in placement.
Man, that applies to so much too. Like, how can you make the right decisions easily accessible? Oh my gosh, that's blowing my mind. And like, I'm already doing it with the food and stuff, and I already know this. And I'm seeing areas that I'm trying to think of areas that I could like apply it. You know what I mean? Like currently in my life. And I'm like, man, I might be able to apply it with like studying the Bible. You know, I could place my Bible in a better spot. You know, like he was saying, or I could. I don't know. I'm gonna think about that though. I forgot about that though. The real no.
And the behavior changed on its own. Nobody fought their cravings. The environment just made the better choice easier. That's powerful. And I think there's something almost spiritual about it too. The Bible says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Renewing your mind doesn't just happen through willpower. It happens through what you allow around you, what you fill your space with.
You, just you, building your app on base 44.
What you keep close. So ask yourself, does my environment reflect who I'm trying to become? Or does it reflect who I used to be?
Dude, that is so cool. I wish I could paint like that. I mean, not enough that I'm actually gonna try and learn it, but like, I wish I could,
So I just got finished blocking in the color of the butter, which is wrapped in gold foil. I don't like the colors are too thin. So what I'm gonna do is just basically wipe it out and start over. I want to say this clearly because I think somebody watching this needs to hear it. Procrastination is not a character flaw.
Oh.
It's not.
Procrastination is not a character flaw. You are not fundamentally broken.
Proof that you're lazy or that something is wrong with you. In most cases, it simply means that nothing in your daily setup is making it easy to follow through. There is no clear trigger, no obvious starting point, no real reason for your brain to choose the task over everything else competing for your attention. And when that structure is missing, avoiding things isn't weakness. It's actually the most natural response. So instead of calling yourself lazy, start looking at your system. Because 9 times out of 10, that's where the real problem is.
Man, the other day, I was sitting there talking, just went through kind of a moment, you know, where I was going to do something and I didn't end up doing it, which was the right call. And I was just sitting there talking with God. And I got to thinking about the YouTube stuff. And he's like, if you take it serious, I'll take it serious too. And I think I'm feeling like that's what he's meaning, is what this guy's saying is, hey, because I was like, well, what do you mean by take it serious? What does taking it serious look like to you? And it's not being perfect, giving it 100% effort. It's, will you curate? Because when I take something, all right, let's even work it back this way. If I take something serious, what do I do? Like if I'm taking a girl serious, tell me that wasn't clean. If I'm taking a girl serious, right? What am I gonna do? You hear me? I'm gonna make time. I'm gonna make time. I'm gonna make an effort. I'm gonna make my effort known. You know, with my time, with preparation, with taking care of myself, even better care of myself, you know. So if you take it serious, I'll take it serious too. If I curate my environment and create systems and create processes and stick to a plan and not be perfect, make progress and create more systems and processes to progress easier, then he'll take it serious too. I think that's what he was saying. Thank you, God.
If you follow my work for a while, you know I'm always searching for ordinary subjects that tell a larger story. For me, this painting is about gratitude, provision, and finding beauty in the things that we might otherwise overlook. I'm so happy to let you know that prints of this painting will be available soon, and they'll be offered in 3 different sizes: 8.5 by 11, 11 by 14, and 16 by 20 inches. If you like first access when the print release goes live, make sure you're on my email list. Subscribers all
W video, man. Check this guy out, Joseph Washington. And the name of this video was Your Brain is Lying to You About Discipline. Here's the truth. One of the best, most accurate representations of what discipline looks like that I've seen in a while. Actually refreshing. It wasn't the hustle culture stuff. I really, really enjoyed this video and this channel. That's why I even subbed to the channel. So Hands down the best, and I mean absolute best channel on YouTube. Keep up the good work. Sidebar, do a how to paint glass tutorial. Type deal, man. I love it. That was amazing. That was amazing. All right. Well, we gonna get into we 30 minutes in. I turned a 9-minute video into 30 minutes. I mean, that's a talent, dude. You know, that's a talent. I dropped a pin. That's what I'm doing. But I figured we get into the Lego building portion. Remember, we're building this Lego set. Yeah. This is where we are currently at, where we left off last stream. And let me pull up the direcciones on the thing here. Oh, Lego. Might be a little bit of a shorter stream, but look, man, I'm been getting convicted about creating the systems, creating the processes, and there for a little bit it was difficult for me to do that because I didn't know what direction I was even going in, you know. But I think, like I said in the beginning of this video or this live stream, if you're here, you know. I think I've got a good path forward with it. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna continue to do better with the systems and processes of it, and as I can financially upgrade the stream and stuff, because I had to take a big pay cut with the job I took, but it'll pay off in the future. And I've almost got all my debt paid off, so I'm not letting off the gas pedal until I do that. But otherwise, let's build this Lego set. Build Lego set. I love when your phone just decides to malfunction. It's like my favorite part about life. No joke. Oh, good time. All right, let's. Nice. There we go. We're getting there. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, I think we're there. Sweet. So the 4 F's to freedom. The 4 F's to freedom. Befitting July 4th, was just in the past weekend. The big 250 for America. Go USA. And I wanted to talk about what freedom means to me and what it looks like to me right now. And when I feel like I'm on fire in life, I'm doing these 4 things. In this order, in sequential order. And we'll speak about that more at the end. But the first one is faith. Faith, yes. Oh, the good old faith that when you talk about, you know, gets people a little bit uncomfy, you know. Look, we just added this. Looks like we're adding like a roll cage to it. Tight shit. So what do I mean by faith? And how does that equate to freedom? Okay, so I believe in God. I believe in Jesus, really. I'm a Christian. I like to say Christ follower because a lot of Christians have put a bad taste in people's mouths, and I am not at all with the masses of the Christian faith, with my beliefs, with my standards, with how I operate. I think that can be evident by even how I talk. And I'm not really going to get into a theological battle about it, but that's just where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? But now, I'm not perfect, and I've tried to be perfect. But I try to always put God first. And in every way that I figure out that means, because that's a journey right there. What does it mean to be first? For me right now, what that means is I try to, whether I read a chapter of the Bible or I listen to a worship song or I just give God a little bit of time first thing in the morning. I try and start my day with Him. It fills me up. It charges me up to know I'm talking with my Creator. I'm building that relationship. I'm strengthening that connection and that ear, that internal ear, and I'm turning that up towards Him. And we need to get number 16 sticker. Let me focus. Okay. And when I focus on that, honestly, I've noticed that my life is better when I do that versus when I don't. My life is better when I have God in it, when I am a part, just a cog in the wheel of a big. When I'm a part of something bigger, is what I'm trying to say. I've noticed that life is better for me. And that's because of many reasons. You know, I genuinely, where I have a relationship with God, not just because I understand the Bible and I read the Bible or I listen to music and I think it's good, or I listen to the music and I get that emotional connection about it. Where I have a relationship with my Creator, it gives me a sense of purpose. It gives me a sense of direction. It gives me a sense of, like I said, I'm a part of something bigger than me. And the values that I believe come along with being a Christian have benefited me. And the only areas that it's been a detriment is now some people, because of past hurts from Christian people, and I put quotes there because I don't believe that they're acting how a Christian should. Now, I'm not saying a Christian should be perfect, which is something that gets thrown in our face a lot, but because of bad taste in their mouth left by other people, sometimes I get viewed a certain way or painted in a certain light. That's the only detriment I've ever seen, which it speaks about that in the Bible as well. So that's number one. That is the first bucket. I want you to imagine each four of these four F's as bucket. Bucket number one, faith. Okay? Here's a little update. Put these stickers on this one and this one here. Okay. Fitness is bucket number two. Fitness. What do you mean, Jude? Fitness what? Chill. What I mean by fitness is Well, number one, I'm going to have to focus as I try and find this literally 1x1 Lego block. The smallest one you can have. And it's black, and my table is black, so bear with me. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Found it. Alright, what's in the middle? Alright, so by fitness, I mean both physical fitness and mental fitness. Okay? So, now that's the second bucket. These are all in priority. So my number one priority is the first bucket, faith. Second priority is fitness. Both physical fitness and mental fitness. Now, what is fitness? Okay, so physical, obviously, I mean, eating right, yeah. Doing some sort of physical activity, whether that means for you the gym. I genuinely like the gym. I enjoy it. So that's what I do. You might do running. You might do CrossFit. You might do rock climbing. Swimming. I don't know. But just something to get the body moving that you can do on a relatively regular basis every week. Okay? Now, mental, for me, that's something I view as very important, is pouring into yourself, or in other words, investing into yourself. So I haven't gotten there yet, but once I eventually pay off all my debt, I will have a financial amount of money set aside every month that I allow myself to spend on myself for the sole purpose of investing in myself. And I'm not talking about watches. I'm talking about knowledge. I want to learn things from people that know things that I don't, that I want to know. I want to, whether that means books, whether that means courses. Every course is a scam. Nope, wrong. I believe even if a course is a scam, I will find value in it because I am that kind of person. You can't scam me. You can't scam me. Scammers are like, but so whether that means reading a book, whether that means listening to podcasts, whether that means, it can be reading the Bible, and by reading a book, I mean, yeah, you can read fictional, but I'd like you to read some nonfiction, some like Atomic Habits by James Clear, like we just talked about, and either the other video that I'm gonna have linked, or the video earlier in this live stream. Why not nonfiction, or why not fiction? Fiction is good. It can get your creative juices flowing and everything, so maybe I won't hate on it too much, but when I'm talking about fitness, I don't really see the fitness aspect as much with the like fiction stuff and all that. But now that I'm talking about it, it's like creativity is something that we are fundamentally created to be. So maybe that can be something that's added into this fitness bucket, is exercising our creative ability. Look at that. We just learned something. We just added something in together. Aren't you proud? Hold on. We've got to... So I'm building this thing right here. I need to find two little beer bottle looking things. And another 1x1 Lego brick. I mean, you love to see it. Okay. Alright, now we just need to find the Lego brick. Okay. Found all three of those pieces. Give you a little showsy. So that's what the fitness bucket means to me. Okay? That's what the fitness bucket means to me. And like I said, remember, these are in order of importance. First bucket, faith. Second bucket, fitness. Fitness meaning mental and physical fitness. And inside that mental is also including creativity. I'm going to finish building this little thingamabobber here, and then we'll move on to the third bucket. What do you think the third bucket is? Do we have any ideas? Okay, sweet. Type shit. Got called away, I'm back. Oh no, you better show up. Got called away, I'm back. You're good. So the third bucket I have here is family. The third F. Faith, number 1. Fitness, number 2. Family, number 3. And a lot of people, and even me, because I did learn this from somebody. I guess not exactly like this, but I kind of workshopped it a little bit. But I was always like, oh, what? How is family? I just dropped a Lego. Give me a second. Oh, I don't know how I found that. Look at that. Clean. And I was like, well, how's family more important than fitness? We'll talk about that. Remember, just wait. Just wait for the end. All right, it's wanting us to add this here. Look at that. It's like that's the turbo or whatever here. These things, and I think this is the seat. I'm not too sure though. All right, but family, and what I have there is relationships. So family and friends. That's the third bucket. Excuse me. Oh, that is the third bucket of importance. Now, what does that mean? Like, how does that work? Well, pouring into that. Because remember what I said. These are buckets. So we're first going to pour our time and our energy into faith. Then we're going to pour what's left into, or the remaining into, fitness. And then we're going to pour the remaining out of that into family and the relationships. So we're pouring into the people that we love, whether it's blood or not. And I do think there's a kind of a priority list there, and like pouring to the people that are in your immediate circle first. So your kids, your spouse, your whatever. If you ain't got that, then your mom, your dad, your siblings, your cousins, whatever. And then give to your friends and give to your friends' kids if they've got them, which mine does. To pour into that. And what does it mean to pour into that? Well, a lot of it really is just being there, being there, giving your time, giving an ear, giving a sense of community and connection, just being there. Literally just being there means a lot to a lot of people, because there's a lot of people that just don't have that are just completely alone. And being completely alone is the sad truth for a lot of people in our world today. In a world full of social media and connection, we are in a social connection epidemic. So that's what I believe, or that's what not what I believe, but that's what the family bucket represents, and how you can pour into that. Now, why do I think that's important? Well, it's kind of the whole purpose of doing live streams and creating a community is I obviously see a lot of importance to it. And kind of what I was saying, the social epidemic and all that crap that I just spewed out of my mouth hole. There's a lot of we were not created to be. I open soda cans under a blanket so the psh is muffled. type shit, Teddy. Type shit. There is a. We were not created to be alone or connectless. We just weren't created for that. You know what I'm saying? So I think the more that we seek that out, the better. I think the more that you try and hide from it and act like you don't need it, the worse that you will inevitably be. Now, some people do have a natural proclivity to like want more of it and be able to be around more of it, and some the other way, not so much. And that's cool either way, but nobody is created to just straight up not need it at all. And I stand by that, Teddy. Oh, shiznit. We're doing another pink one. I gotta lock in so I don't drop this Lego here. Okay. Let's see where it's wanting me to add this in. Look at this. I added a third Nas nitrous bottle. Let's go. Flush the toilet mid-pee to cover the sound with the sound. I flushed the toilet mid-pee to cover the sound with the sound. Nice. Clean. All right, the fourth bucket, my guys, is finances. As the fourth and final bucket in the 4 F's to freedom. Y'all like that? Y'all like that? The framework. The 4F framework to freedom. Type shit. Now, in order of importance, first bucket, faith. Second bucket, fitness. Third bucket, family. Fourth bucket, finances. Okay, and remember, you're pouring into the top, or the first, the second, the third, the fourth. The fourth is getting the least amount, but we'll talk about that later. And you might be like, well, what are you talking about? You know, I need money, bro. I need money. Yeah, you need money, and that's why it's on this fucking list, so calm down. Dude, they're throwing all sorts of these little pieces at me right now. I'm kind of getting a little bit overwhelmed. But what is the finances? I mean, obviously, career, you know. I'm not saying that's your all-time job. If you remember, in the fitness, there was mental and physical fitness, and included in that mental bucket was the creativity, which is something that you're pouring into. And that creativity can be your hobby. It can be another word for your hobby, yeah? Which a lot of people don't have the luxury of doing what they love and doing something that fires them up all day, every day, for work and make money from it. And that's what this is for. Like that bucket is for, and that's why it's second. The least important area is where you're getting your money. Which I know I'm saying it in ways that's gonna like provoke an emotion, and there's a purpose for that. But it is. It's the least important area out of the 4 F's. It's where you get your money. Yeah, you're still giving effort there. You're still giving your best self. You're still showing up fully. I'm not saying you're neglecting it. But your career and your work and your boss and everything else does not get the number one thing in your life, you know, like God does. like your faith does. It doesn't get more energy than your family does. It doesn't get more energy than your fitness and your physical health and your focus on your mental health and your hobbies get. It just doesn't. Now, there's not really much to say about the finances other than, hey, we're also talking about how are you spending your money. You know, it's awesome if you make a lot of money, but I know a lot of people that make a lot of money, but I make less than them, but I retain more of my money because I have less payments, because I budget my money, I know where it's going, I'm disciplined with my money. So really, who has more money? You know what I'm saying? So that's another part of this focus here is like, all right, yeah, we're going to focus on trying to make money and trying to make more money. Yeah, awesome, great, all for it. But let's also focus on being disciplined with our money and not being irresponsible with it. Now, let me lock in and try and find this curvatured piece of all right, I just found it. All right, here. I think we're putting the stick shift into the dagger and cockpit right now, you guys, which is pretty exciting. Pretty exciting stuff. But now the big question you may be having is why that order, you know? Well, let me put it like this. If you're not all right, if you're not on fire for God, if you're not, because remember, it's faith number 1, fitness number 2, family number 3, finances number 4. Okay? That's the order of putting your time into that will achieve freedom for you. So, how is faith more important than family? Well, if I'm not right with my Creator, if I'm not on fire for Him, if I'm not chasing after something bigger than me, even if we're not talking about God or Jesus, even if it's freaking Buddha, or if it's the universe, or if it's whatever, if you're just completely, I don't believe in anything, I think that's, yeah, I'm gonna say, I think that's literally the highest form of ignorance, to think that you're just here. You know what I mean? Like you're just in, and you have absolute control, or maybe you're like you've given that away too. You don't have control over it either. You know, but you're just here, and this just nothing has any meaning. I just think it's ignorant. Truly, I think. I mean, really, like any Google search, any science endeavor that you go on, you eventually come to the conclusion that there's a meaning to this, you know. So there's that little side tangent, but I believe that if I'm chasing after Him, if my relationship's on fire for Him, and I'm growing in that, in my faith, Christianity, and believing in God and believing in Jesus, it sharpens me. It makes me a better person. So I'm a better person. I'm able to show up better for my family. Okay, and then it's like, all right, well, how is fitness, being physical fitness, mental fitness, and creativity, how's that more important than family? You know, because a lot of people have family number 1. They give their wife and their kids their first, their everything, and everything else is last. And you can survive like that. I just don't think that's the easiest way and to get to freedom, and I don't think it's really the way to achieve freedom at all, because I think if you do it in this order, you'll be able to reach a lot higher heights. All right, now physical fitness, mental fitness, why is that so important? Why is it important to put into your creativity over your family? Because you are number 1. You're the one running this motherfucking show. Your life. You're running it. If you don't take care of yourself mentally, if you don't take care of yourself physically, if you're out of shape, if you eat shit food, if your mentality's not right, if you're just always consuming TV, if you're not trying to get more knowledge, sharpen yourself, whether that's with books or podcasts or whatever, or talking with other people, or you're trying to go after, learn new hobbies and get interested in stuff and get excited about life, you're not going to be and that gets you into a higher frequency. That gets you into something that, number one, other people want to be around other people that are doing good, that are enjoying life, that are happy, that are having fun. People just want to be around that. And you can serve, you do show up differently, and you serve your life, the people in your life, whether that's family, friends, or just strangers, at a higher level when you give effort to yourself first in those areas, which is all of them, physical and mental. And then creativity is just is something that we added in because it gives more context to stuff. And then obviously the family, pouring into the relationships and everything. A lot of people, there's some people that they decide to put the finances above the family because it's like, well, I need to provide for my family. If I don't provide, they're not going to be able to eat. We're not going to be able to keep the lights on. And there's truth to that, yeah. But if your relationship with your wife is shit and your kids fucking hate you, I mean, when you show up to work, like whatever drive you would have, I mean, can we at least say this? The drive that you would have if your wife was just absolutely head over heels in love with you. I mean, couldn't keep her hands off you, and your kids loved you. That you're your son's hero, and your daughter wants to find a man like you to marry. Do you think that person shows up a little bit differently at a higher level than the person that his wife doesn't really care whether he's at the house or not, and his kids don't really care to spend time with him when he's home? That's what we're getting at here, and that's why it's more important. And then also your relationships and stuff, your friends, and not just your family. But that's what charges you up, that connection. That's what life's really all about, is the relationships and how you affect those people. It's really kind of the most important bucket. But you can't pour into all of, if it's out of congruency, if that's number one, then you're not going to be able to serve that bucket at the highest level possible. What I'm defining freedom as, in the 4 F's to freedom, is freedom to me is how can I best live this life in a way that, where I can achieve the most, or not even achieve the most. Freedom to me is how can I live this life at the highest level possible? Not perfect, but how can I progress through this life at the highest level possible and affect the most people in a positive way? That's what freedom is to me, And so that's why the family bucket is above the finances. And then the finances, it's like, we already know what that is. It's stewarding your money and going after to make money and possibly make more money, And I believe if you have those other 3 buckets ahead of finances in that order, and you put your time and effort into those buckets, not only will it be more powerful, the remaining time and energy that you give to finances, but I think you'll also have more of it. Because if you give your family time, they're not going to be, your wife's not going to be as upset at you, and probably not really upset at you if you're really showing up and you're on fire for that relationship. She's going to be like, yeah, go make the money. You know what I mean? Like, go do your thing, and you're going to be charged up. And same thing if you're taking care of yourself. Now you got more energy, and if you're spending time with God, it all pours, every bucket kind of. So like, here's bucket number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 1, when you're pouring into that, you're kind of overflowing it, and it's pouring into number 2, and then you're starting to pour into number 2, and then on down the line. And then it kind of like falls down into the pool, and the pool is you, and it's pouring back up into bucket number 1. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? I flush and immediately turn on the shower so the shower noise cancels the flush noise. Teddy is like super bot level right now. Literally is not human. He's literally AI, a figment of our imagination. Teddy is. He's nothing. He's a nobody. He's literally a robot AI. But this is where we got with the Lego set today. Good video that we reacted to as well. I think we got to a good point with the channel at the beginning of the live stream. We was talking about, you know, I'm gonna have to rewatch it to really remember what I even said about it. But I think there's a... Do you get what I'm saying though, Teddy? Fuck what you're saying, Teddy. Give a damn what you're saying. You ain't talking about what we're talking about. You're trying to be a little, like, kind of a clown in the chat. And, like, I'm just calling you out for it. Because it's not what we're here to talk about. But all love to you, brother. I'm not really going to entertain that. I'm excited for the direction the channel's going, man. I really am. Like, I'm super excited. I think we're going to get into some exciting stuff. More of like a self-improvement driven channel, but directed at, hey, how can I affect people? You know, how can I help you in whatever situation you're going through? I think that's kind of what I was saying. I'll have to go watch it back, but appreciate y'all for showing up. Appreciate you guys for watching it after the fact for the live stream. And if anybody like watches it after the fact, whether it's in the clips or just the live stream, appreciate you. Really do. I love y'all. I will be back Monday at 7. Here we go. I'll see y'all then.